So, a couple of weeks ago, I headed to Gamescom, and I did a roundup video showing everything I tried on the show floor, but there was one thing I couldn't talk about back then that I can talk about now, and that is the Pico Neo 4. It's a brand new standalone VR headset from Pico, designed for consumers that's going to be available very soon. If you're not aware, Pico have been in the VR game for a long time, but just last year they were acquired by ByteDance, the owners of TikTok. So this means we have another social media giant in the VR space, although don't worry, you don't need a TikTok account to use this device. So during my private demo, I had around 45 minutes with the Neo 4, which I know isn't long, but it was enough time to form some first impressions, which I'll be sharing with you in this video. So let's jump straight into the juicy stuff, starting with the specs. The Pico Neo 4 has two LCD displays, which offer a resolution of 2160 by 2160 per eye, running up to 90 Hz with a field of view of 105 degrees. This resolution is quite the increase over the current market leader with the Quest 2, which has a resolution of 1832 by 1920 per eye. To make these displays really shine, Pico have chosen to use expensive pancake lenses. Now these lenses have a couple of benefits. One is that they don't have any concentric rings like traditional Fresnel lenses, meaning you get reduced glare and God rays. And secondly, the lenses can be located closer to the displays, meaning the overall form factor of the headset can be much smaller. When trying on the headset for the first time, I was immediately impressed with the comfort of the device, along with the high-resolution displays and clear lenses. Everything looks sharp and clear. Inside the headset, the lenses have granular IPD adjustment between 62 and 72 millimeters. And this is adjusted from within the system menu, but the lenses actually move into place by motors built into the headset, which is pretty cool. Powering the Neo 4 is the familiar XR2 chipset from Qualcomm, which is paired with 8GB of RAM. At the back of the headset is a dial to adjust the head strap, and inside the back section here is where the 5300 mAh battery is located. With the battery located at the back, it helps provide an even weight distribution so the headset is nicely balanced. I've been told the internal battery should provide up to 3 hours of VR playtime. The headset also features dual microphones, speakers for spatial 3D audio, and Wi-Fi 6 for fast network connectivity. I have to say, overall, I'm really digging the sleek look and small form factor of this headset. It's much smaller than what we're used to with both the Quest 2 and Pico Neo 3, and to me, it looks like a similar form factor to that of the upcoming Quest Pro headset from the leaks that we've all seen. This smaller form factor also means the headset is lighter, making it more comfortable to wear for prolonged sessions. It's approximately 100 grams lighter than the Quest 2 with an Elite strap installed. The soft material face gasket is comfortable and it's just held in place with magnets so it can be swapped out easily if required. There's also plenty of space to accommodate glasses, which I tested thoroughly throughout my demo. On the front of the Neo 4, it has 4 inside-out tracking cameras, and behind the glossy faceplate in the middle sits a 16-megapixel RGB camera, which is used to provide full color pass-through. Seeing color pass-through for the first time was actually really impressive, although it kind of had this wide-angle fisheye lens look to it. Although Pico say this pass-through might be able to support some AR functionality in the future, I'm not so sure. You can see exactly what I was able to see in the headset on the TV screen behind me here. So moving on to the controllers. I have to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the Neo 3 controllers, but these new Neo 4 controllers are a huge improvement. The first thing that really struck me was the tracking ring design, which runs from back to front. Pico explained they went with this design choice so when holding the controllers close together or in front of each other like in a first-person shooter for example, the tracking rings won't occlude each other. Another neat feature is that the 2 AA batteries required for each controller are stored in a small battery tray. This is to ensure that even with really fast and high velocity hand movements, the tracking won't be compromised by the batteries losing connection, which has been an issue with other VR controllers in the past. It's these little touches and considerations for VR gaming, along with the powerful haptic feedback motors, that really impressed me. In terms of the controller button layout, they felt instantly familiar, as the layout is very similar to that of the Quest 2, and Pico state that with the 2 AA batteries, the controllers should last up to 80 hours of playtime. So this all sounds pretty good so far, but what can you actually play on the Pico Neo 4? Well, Pico have been working hard on bringing over some of the most popular standalone VR titles to their platform, and they'll have around 160 VR games available at launch. Top games available now and coming soon to the Pico platform include Demio, Real VR Fishing, After the Fall, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution, and Walkabout Minigolf. Many of these titles, such as After the Fall and Walkabout Minigolf, will support cross-platform play with both PC and Quest 2 players. So you're probably wondering at this point, is it compatible with a PC to play PC VR content like the Quest 2? Well, yes, but not with the link cable. Pico are leaving that with the Pico Neo 3 Link, and instead will be supporting wireless PC VR connectivity with the Pico Neo 4. You'll be able to do this in one of two ways. You can either connect the Neo 4 to a fast home network using the built-in Wi-Fi 6, or if you don't have a fast home network, you can buy the official €50 USB dongle from Pico, which plugs into your PC and creates its own little network to connect directly to the Neo 4 headset wirelessly. In terms of release schedule, Pico are officially announcing the Neo 4 headset today on the 22nd of September. Initially, the headset will only be available in Europe, Japan, and Korea, with availability in Singapore and Malaysia coming later this year. The US isn't part of their release strategy right now, but that could change in the future. Those customers who previously bought a Pico Neo 3 Link under the beta program will have the first opportunity to pre-order the Neo 4 starting from tomorrow, and they'll get the promised 35% discount. After that, in early October, pre-orders will open up to the public, with headsets arriving with customers from the 18th of October. The two models available are the 128GB model, which will cost €429 or £379, and then you have the 256GB model, which will cost €499, £449 British pounds. So after my demo, I left Pico impressed with their plans for the Neo 4. They had this huge VR presence at Gamescom, and the new headset is well thought out with some really nice specs and features. My only concern for Pico is on the software side, as their home environment is kind of boring, their UI is a bit basic, and their library of content just isn't as strong as the competition. However, they are targeting markets where Meta have struggled or are just not available, like parts of Europe where Meta were banned, and in Asia where Meta headsets just aren't sold. If these markets prove successful for Pico, we could see them bringing the Neo 4 to more territories, including the US, in the future. I'm just really happy to see the competition in the VR space starting to heat up a little bit. This is certainly the best standalone headset I've tried outside the Meta range of devices so far. Personally, my plan for the Pico Neo 4 is not to use it as a standalone device, as I'm already far too invested in the Meta platform, but instead to use it as a wireless PC VR headset, as it will be a bit of a step up from the Quest 2 with the higher resolution and those lovely pancake lenses. But of course, I'll report back with a full review once I get my hands on one here in the office. So that's my first impressions of the Pico Neo 4. What I showed you today is just the consumer version of the Neo 4, as Pico also has plans to release a Pro version, which will come with built-in eye tracking and face tracking in the future, but that's only going to be available to business and enterprise customers. It's going to be really interesting to see how this headset is received, how it stacks up against the upcoming Quest Pro, and if they end up bringing this headset to the US sometime in the future. But I'd love to know what you all think of this headset in the comments below. Do you like the look of the specs? Are you, like me, a little bit concerned about the game library? Are you maybe disappointed it's not releasing in the US straight away? Or maybe you just don't care? Either way, I'd love to know what you all think in the comments below. And also, if you have any questions, maybe something I missed in the video, then please feel free to ask any questions you have in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer as many questions as I can. Leave a little like if you enjoyed the video, make sure you're subscribed for all my future VR content, and as always, I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers.